Welcome back. For today's video, going to be taking a look at two state-specific polls that were released today out of the states of South Carolina as well as Wisconsin, and show the shifting around in the numbers that we've seen from these two specific polling resources out of these two states. And we are seeing some changes in the numbers, specifically with Biden taking a step back, where Sanders and Buttigieg are taking a step forward, and it's making things a bit more competitive in these areas. If you'd like to take a look at all of the data for yourself, I'll link these articles at the bottom of the video description. So starting off here in South Carolina, Biden down 3 points from the prior change research poll that came out of South Carolina, and that one came out about a month and a half ago, where Biden was at 30%. In this one, he's in first place at 27%. Sanders gaining the most out of all of these individuals. He was at 13% in the prior poll. In this one, he boosts up to second place with 20% of support, gaining 7 points. Elizabeth Warren staying flat from where she was in the prior result at 19%, in this one in third place. Buttigieg also gaining a bit, where he was at just 3% in the prior October result. In this one, he's up to 9%, gaining 6 points. And then we see Cory Booker was able to gain 2 points, perhaps getting some of that Kamala Harris vote that's no longer in the running. They're at 5%, along with Tom Steyer at 5%, who stays even. Gabbard was able to gain 1 point, up to 4%. Michael Bloomberg, a new name in the field, of course, gaining 3 points because he wasn't polled in the last one, just registering 0%, obviously, up to 3% in this one. And then we have Klobuchar at 2%, along with Andrew Yang, who's also at 2%. And then all the rest are at 1 percentage point or less. So now we're going to move over and take a look at the changes that we're seeing in these Wisconsin numbers out of this Marquette poll. So we see Joe Biden leading the pack at 23%, down 7 percentage points from where he was in the poll that was taken a few weeks ago from the same resource in Wisconsin. So he was at 30%, now he's at 23%, and things getting much more competitive in this result, where you have Sanders in second place at 19%, gaining 2 points from the last poll. And we see Elizabeth Warren at 16%, gaining 1 point, and Buttigieg also gaining 2 points, up to 15%. So a very competitive race. A bordering state to Iowa, perhaps some crossover in the type of demographics that we're getting clearly in a state like Wisconsin from what you're going to get in a state like Iowa, where we also have a very competitive race going on. So not a huge surprise to see Biden, Warren, Sanders, as well as Buttigieg all competitive here in the state of Wisconsin. All of the other individuals are in the lower single digits, where you have Cory Booker at 4%, Klobuchar, as well as Andrew Yang and Michael Bloomberg, each at 3 percentage points, respectively. And to take a look at the second choice, it's Elizabeth Warren at 20%, Bernie Sanders at 18%, Biden at 15%, Buttigieg at 11%, and then the rest of the individuals are in single digits, with Cory Booker at 8%, along with Michael Bloomberg also registering 8 percentage points with that second choice. So what are we seeing with these two state-specific results? Like I said, Joe Biden receding more than any of the candidates. The South Carolina poll, he was down 3 points. This Wisconsin poll, he was down 7 points, where Sanders and Buttigieg gaining the most. Sanders gained 7 points in the South Carolina poll, Buttigieg gained 6 points, and then in this Wisconsin one, they each gained 2 percentage points respectively, whereas Warren more so staying even. She was at an even number there in South Carolina, not gaining or receding, and then in this Wisconsin poll, she was able to gain 1 percentage point. And it is interesting to see these shifting around in the numbers, specifically with somebody like a Kamala Harris stepping down. That is, not a huge percentage of support that's up for grabs, but still nonetheless interesting to see how that can filter its way through the rest of these campaigns. Perhaps this is a troubling sign for Biden. Now, he's still in first place in each state respectively, but obviously his campaign doesn't want to see him receding anymore as we get closer and closer towards primary season. So that's going to wrap this one up, guys. I appreciate you stopping by. Consider subscribing to getting more poll coverage in future videos, and I hope to see you guys back here for my next video.